Alright, today we're discussing volume of pyramids. A couple of things we have to go over are definitions. Alright, a lateral face. Well, a lateral face is pretty much any flat surfaces that are not bases. Any flat surfaces that are not bases. The other key word that we should go over, pyramid. Well, a pyramid is a three-dimensional figure with one base and triangular, keyword again, lateral faces. So if we take a look at this object here, okay, and we get any point here, alright, we have a pyramid. This side here, I'm going to go ahead and shade it so you guys can see it. That pretty much okay, that's the lateral face. Why? Because it's not the base, it's a part of the side that goes on here. So if we were to break up the pyramid, okay, if we were to break up the pyramid, alright, we'll have something like this. Which this will be, all of these four will be the lateral faces. Alright. Now, what we're going to discuss today is actually finding the volume of the pyramid. So the volume, remember something, what is volume? Volume is what? Well, to pretty much, it just takes up space. In other words, how much is inside. Because you guys can know the formulas if you want. If you really don't understand it, then it's just going to have no meaning. So when it deals with volume, like that Pringles right there, is how much Pringles you could fit inside the container, correct? So if you think about this, can you fit 300 Pringles in that little small container? The answer is what?
Crush them.
Probably not, even if you crush it. You know, it's like for this room. Alright, this room, there's around 35 of you. Can you fit 1 million students inside this room? The answer is no. You know, so it's how much could be inside. You know, when you sell your cars and everything, the first thing that you guys check for is what? How many passengers fit in the car legally?
Wait, there's 35 students in this.
You know, so Here I go. So the volume of the pyramid, all right, its volume is equal to 1/3. It's a capital B, and I'm going to explain now what the capital B means, okay? Times H. 1/3. Notice that this is capital B times H. This formula will be given on the reference sheet. This formula is given on the reference sheet. So now, if we think about this, if we look at this part right here, all right, and we look at this pyramid, you notice that the pyramid has 4 what? Lateral, right? But they're in the shape of triangles, right? And you also have a base that's what? A quadrilateral. Well, this quadrilateral is what?
The capital B.
Is a capital B, which means what?
Base.
Length times width. So when you think about the capital B, all you're really saying is length times width. All right? No, not in this case. When they use this right here, it's automatically what they're doing is this. Now, the H is actually this part right here that you have a 90-degree over here angle from the height over here. So when they ever given a B, I mean, some textbooks will not give you the B. Some textbooks will just give you this part right here, right? But in this case, the capital B is actually the multiplication to find the area of the quadrilateral. All right. So let's look at an example. All right. If we take a look at an example over here, and I'll give you this right here. This is an example, and I'm gonna try my very best to do this here. And I'm giving you a point here. Alright. And I gave you this to be 9 inches. I give this to you be 5 inches. And in order for you to do this, you need to be given the height. Alright. And I give you this. And I tell you, instead of this, I tell you that the volume of this pyramid is 90 cubic inch. Now remember, whenever you're dealing with volume, it's cubed. Alright? It could be feet cubed, inch cubed, because we're actually multiplying 3 distinct numbers. Okay, so if we think about the formula, okay, the formula here is what? Volume is equal to 1 times base times the height divided by 3. The whole thing should be the same thing as divided by 3. So just keep it simple. Alright? 1 times base times height, divide the whole thing by 3. This and this means the same thing. Remember something, that this is a what? B is also a fraction, which is what? B over 1. H is another fraction, which is H over 1. When we multiply this, it will be 1 times B times H is just BH over 3 times 1 times 1. It's just 3. So it gives you the same thing. Alright? So here, we could go ahead and start filling it in. Do we know what the volume is?
No, yes.
What's the volume?
90.
So I'll go ahead and input this here. This is 90 is equal to, well, what is B? 45. If you want to go ahead and put it in little by little, step by step, it's fine. I'll go ahead and do 9 times 5, and it'll be times H over 3. Did I lose anybody?
No, it's just an algebraic expression.
That's it. Now, coming back to what you guys have learned before, remember that's why it's important that you guys know and you understand. One of the things that we're actually covering with my geometry class right now is actually this right here. that you need to go ahead and work backwards to solve for the unknown variable. So if we were to look at this right here, we could go ahead and combine these two right here. This is actually 90 is equal to 45h over 3. How could we solve for the variable h? Yes, sir.
So first you would have to multiply 3 by 3, so that cancels out.
Okay, we'll do it step by step. He said first multiply both sides by 3. Okay? This will cancel out. What's 3 times 9?
27.
So what's 3 times 90?
207.
270 is equal to 45h. And then last but not least, how do we solve for h?
You divide 45 by 3.
Divide 45. That will cancel out. At the end, what is the value of h?
6 inches.
So according to this, the height here is going to be 6 inches. The height over here is going to be 6 inches.
And it converts back to normal inches, right?
Yeah, no, because all of this deals with inches. You see over here we have inch and inch. It has to be an inch. Once you get the volume, then that should be in cubic inch, or whatever the unit of measurements we're dealing with. In this case, we're dealing with inches, so it should be in inch at the end. If we're dealing with feet, then it'll be cubic feet. All right? So notice that this right here, we had to work backwards to go ahead and solve for the unknown variable. But as long as you understand the steps behind it, there's no going wrong. You know, you should have a direct answer. So let's take a look at another example. Ready? Now, this time we're actually going to find the volume. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put find the volume here. So if we're finding the volume, we're given this shape here. All right, we're given 3.2 inches. Now notice right here, the height is 2.8 inches, and the width of this part right here is 1.4 inches. Coming back to the formula, which is what? The volume is equal to base times the height over 3. We don't really put the 1 in there because 1 times anything is itself, right? So right now what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to work it out on your own. I'm going to give you guys 40 seconds, work it out, and then we'll discuss it quietly, alright? So go ahead and do it now.
And I tried to do it using last time, the Pythagorean thing and the inverse.
Do we round it to the nearest?
Yes, you can. It says I round it to the nearest tenth. Guys need more time? All right, I'll give you guys a few more seconds. Now?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Volume is equal, again, this is important because a lot of times I used to get confused doing this stuff right here because I didn't understand what the capital B meant, you know. I looked at the formulas, and if you don't know how to use the formula, then you get stuck. So according to this, capital B just represents what? The base. Well, the base can be calculated by multiplying what? 3.2 inch times 1.4 inch times the height, which is 2.8 inch. All of that divided by 3. So, can anybody tell me the final answer? 4.2 what? Cubic inch. That is correct. Now, we're going to do the same thing. But I want you guys, we're going to do another thing. Ready? I want you guys to see this real quick. Is everybody listening? If I were to take this pyramid, all right, and I were to cut it in this case right here, and just ignore this side over here,
Like the whole half of the pyramid?
a half of it, half of a pyramid, then what should I do to this right here? Divide it by 2 or times it by half. They're both correct. You guys understand that? So we're going to do one just like it right over here on this side. So this one is going to be like this. The next question, this is my next example. All right. So here we go. So the question goes like this. It goes like this. Boom. I'm going to try my best because it's not that great. Okay. All right. So now I have this height is 11 meters. This base over here is 8.1 meters. And this side here is 6.4 meters. All right. Find the volume. Again, the volume is equal to it's right here.
You don't know how to find out.
We good? Do we need more time?
Yes, I did it wrong.
All right, I'll give you more seconds. Keep on going. Did you work on it? Hundreds. Tenths, yes. You good?
Wait,
All right. So we'll continue. Well, let's keep everything the same. So the base, how do we solve for the base?
8.1 and 900.
All right, 8.1 meters times 6.4 meters. And then what is the height of this?
11.
Times 11 meters. And then we'll take all of that and divide it by 3. So I'll bring the calculator over here so you guys can see it.
Mr. Education,
Yes.
wouldn't you just solve the base first and then just divide it by 2 to get it out of the way since it's a triangle?
You can if you want to. There's different ways of doing this, but I like to do everything I like to keep it the same way. And since I know it's actually just half the pyramid at the end, I just divide my final answer by 2. So look what happens here. Look, 8.1 times 6.4 times 11. Divide that by 3. The whole pyramid, it's 190.08 cubic meters. Since it's half of it, we'll just take that, divide it by 2, divide that by 2, we get 95.04 cubic meters.